Oh, right. Well, guess what happens when your boss gives you a day and a half off? Get to do a little bonus stream. It's not Thursday. It is Friday, but I thought, hey, been making some progress. Had some fun yesterday. Been having a lot of fun with the streams. So I thought, let's do a little extra bonus stream and get some more work done on this project. So catch folks up about some of what I've been doing. Yesterday on the stream, we started on this scene that you can see in front of you. This is a start scene, for lack of a better term. I got this idea in my head a few days ago of that I could push towards some sort of like alpha release, get this game out there. It's just kind of a sandboxy playground kind of build. Not ready for Steam, not ready for Steam early access, nothing like that. But get it out there in some form so folks can start playing with it, get some feedback, generate some bug reports, all that kind of stuff. And I've got a list of things that I want to get done. Might add a few things, but I got a list of things I want to get done before I kind of publicize that. And one of those was the start scene. So yesterday on stream, we got most of this general shape built up. I spent a lot of time tinkering last night, adjusting some colors, adjusting the camera perspective, all that kind of stuff. And I'm still not totally sold on it. Maybe the background color in particular, I'm not entirely sold on, but it is a fair bit more dynamic. So let's go into play mode here. And I'll switch views. And you can see we've got a scene that's just got a lot more going on. I got the, forget who made the suggestion, move the shuttles, got the shuttles moving, added a little bit of rotate to the turrets, just kind of bringing the scene to life a little bit. Added a bunch more tiles to try to kind of fill things in. Realized like after the stream that I hadn't put in all the different tiles. So I put in some of these gas tiles that have these vents that come out so we get a little particle effect on them. Added a couple more buildings. And as you can see there, we just went to night. I brought in the day-night manager script. Stuck that in here again, just to give it a little bit more life. It cycles through the day and night pretty quickly, but I quite like that. Hoping everything's looking okay. OBS on my side is twitching. Do I have this in the right? Yeah. Just checking to make sure I have it on the right profile. But anyways, I'm really liking where this is going. I think it's going to need another round of polish, another round of adjustments of color and adding some life to it, but I'm really liking where this is going. Also, redid my buttons down here at the bottom. Got nice white icons. I think looks a lot better than the kind of the default colored ones. All these buttons work, and including I was working on this morning. I want to get a different icon for this, but I found this one quickly. A bug report. So this is super cool. Again, I made some comment on Discord that Unity seems determined to kill this. I don't know why. They have a user reporting library, works great, but there's a lot going on in it. And the documentation, surprise, surprise, is not great. But they used to have a prefab that you could bring in, and it had everything connected, and it basically just worked out of the box. And that's gotten really hard to find. I don't know why. It took me probably 45 minutes of searching through forums and what have you to find the right link. I found it, and then converted it to use Nova UI. And this is great. So you can see it takes a little screenshot of what's going on. You can put in a title. You've got a drop down, so you can kind of categorize your report, and then you got space for your, that's not working quite right, is it? And you got a place for your user to leave yourself a comment or leave a comment for you. which is great in terms of bug reports, in terms of, hey, like, wouldn't it be cool if, or just general feedback from your players. And then what that does, let's see, I think I closed it down. Let me grab it on. Well, and then what it does is it comes in here, and then I've got it connected to Discord. So it spits back a message here, which is great. You know, if you get too many players, and this doesn't become useful. And then what it does, it spits back a report that looks like this. So there's the screenshots, and then you've got the whole report out on the hardware. I think you can probably add your own metadata in here. I suspect, I haven't looked into it that much, but I think this is just pretty generic list or dictionary of metadata that you can get out. And right, it gives me Unity versions, gives me CPU, gives me GPU, all that kind of stuff, which is really helpful to diagnose issues, especially if you get a lot of them. And this is all tied into the Unity Analytics package, which is basically just plug and play for the most basic stuff. So you also get crash reports if you end up with, you know, something that's null that shouldn't be null. Just the same errors that you get in Unity can all of a sudden show up in Discord, which, you know, if you don't have too many of them, is great. It's a great way to debug remotely and figure out what's going on. My last game, I found several errors that way. I just got a notification in Discord, hey, you know, this value was null. It wasn't supposed to be null. Anyways, enough of that. This is pretty slick. I really like this. I think it's amazing that Unity's got this just comes out of the box and it just works. I don't know why Unity actually has something that just works out of the box and they're hiding it. Go figure. I don't know. Heyo. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Yeah, the analytics thing is super, super slick. I haven't, if you guys have, oh, let me see if I can pull it up here. Pull up the Unity dashboard here. I'll pull it on the screen here in a minute. And so this is super basic. I haven't done anything in here. But just by bringing in the Unity Analytics, there's a few other steps, but it's less than 10 minutes worth of work. You get all this report on how many people are playing your game, session use, all that kind of stuff. And you can do a bunch of other things in terms of generating your own custom events. Like if you have multiple levels, you can see, you know, you can propagate an event every time somebody starts a new level. So you can see how far people are getting into your game and all that kind of good stuff. It's great. I didn't get super sophisticated with it, but it's a nice to have. So anyways, Kimasabe, yeah, the bug report is, well, let's open it up here. It is, I don't think it is just a Unity Pro. I do not have a Unity Pro license. Those are quite expensive. Let's see here if we can. So it is subscription. I have a Plus subscription. I have for a long while. Some of these features are pretty useful when you're publishing a game. I also really don't have a hard time paying for a product that I'm using pretty frequently. I don't actually know if the user reporting, that's a really good question. I don't know if user reporting is only for subscription or if you can get it with a free and it's just really limited. I think it's great. If you're going to publish a game that's going to gain any traction, the $35 a month for your Plus subscription, in my opinion, is well worth the money. And you can turn that subscription on and off. So I think it's super cool. But yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know the answer for that. Alrighty, so this is working. Again, I think this scene could use some tweaking. Some adjustments. But as a whole, for a alpha release, I'm pretty okay with it looking like this. So they still need to come up with a better name for the game. But yeah, anyways, and all these buttons here work. I kind of want to make all these hexagons flash, turn them into buttons so they react when you hover over them. But then again, we just go to play. It's a little, I should probably put a loading screen in there. We go in and we can play our game from there. Cool. So what I want to do a couple things here. I think today I'll probably once again kind of do like the 2-hour-ish stream like I usually do. What I want to start with is continuing to work on my to-do list. And you can see my to-do list on the bottom right of the screen in yellow there. These are the things I need. And what I want to do for a little bit is finish up that options menu. So that is in this other scene. And most of it's built. It just needs to do a little bit of formatting. It's over here in our game scene. I want to get that formatted, get that looking a little bit better. So that is dialed and ready to go. And then I want to spend some time doing some modeling because I've got 2 more buildings that the player really needs to have for the game to fully function. And I want to do some modeling after we get this menu put together. What am I looking for? Settings menu. Here we go. All right, we'll bring the alpha up. So right now the settings menu is super simple, and I'm not really worried about it looking particularly good right now. The settings menu probably gets bigger. We're probably going to add a bunch of features to it. But yeah, we're going to start off with just formatting this menu and go from there. And what I've kind of settled in on is pretty simple for now. I'm going black with a lot of transparency and then a white border around it. Just keeping it really clean and simple. And then just a little bit of rounded corners like so, like that. Next card. I've tried to get ChatGPT to generate names for me. I've tried to get ChatGPT to generate names for me. I haven't been particularly inspired. I gotta figure out how to prompt it with some like more. Need to kind of like seed it with some words that I like. Iron Rock. Yeah, we're gonna do a little Nova here. Not super sophisticated, but this is it's pretty nice. So let's see here. What do we? All right, we're just gonna style it like that. Settings menu. We're just gonna. I haven't really chosen a font. I've been kind of going back and forth. Been kind of enjoying this font. I'm just gonna size that up a little bit. Okay. That I can deal with. And then our buttons. I kind of been liking the black button. So I'm gonna go black button. Again with some transparency, I think maybe not quite as much. And then a white border. And we're gonna choose our. I need to come back and make this a little more sci-fi kind of thing, but for right now, this is doing the trick. And let's see here. I don't want to. Oh, nope. That does want to be sized up. All right. Iron Rock, one of my favorite pieces of Nova are these buttons here. So I don't know how well they'll come across on stream, but we've got expand to parent and shrink to children. It just works. It just makes sense. And you can definitely push the buttons and get the wrong combination of things and it, shrinks or goes down to nothing or it explodes or whatever. But I love the fact that Nova is super transparent with its relationship between children and parents and sizing. Other super cool thing is you can switch between percentage and a value. So a value would actually be the number of pixels or the physical size of that object. I really, really like it. Which UI asset is this? This is Nova UI. These guys reached out to me, I think in July, and wanted just gave me the asset and said, hey, here, go play around. Here, let me turn off that. Since we're doing a bunch of inspector work, let's turn off that list alpha release. Let's turn that on. There we go. And they just wanted to hand this out. They gave it to me, no strings attached, and I loved it and have been working with them ever since. And then so here, here's my percentage. Again, so right now I'm 80% the parent, and I can just shrink that to 60% of my parent and I'm good to go. Maybe what I really want to do is shrink my parent itself. And you can see my sliders are getting a little messed up, so maybe we won't do that quite yet. We'll fix our sliders first. The sliders are, the Nova guys have this love-hate relationship with providing prefabs and pre-made things. When Nova first shipped, it was just the raw stuff, and you had to build all your own buttons and all your own sliders. And a fair number of us kind of complained about that one. Didn't think that was the best of choices. And they have since started providing some basic prefabs. And they're good. They're just not perfect quite yet. So let's see. I want to... There's my slider. Let's open this one up too. Okay. Got our color. Now, what do I want to do here? I mean, I'm kind of okay with it being fairly basic and ugly like that. But let's look at... I've noticed this is weird. It unfortunately doesn't seem to update in real time. It's one of my beefs. I can fix that. Let's fix that. Iron Rock, does it swap out UI assets pretty easily in those prefabs? If you mean swap out for UGUI assets, yeah, it does swap out pretty easily. There can be some nuance and some renaming. But for example, this morning, that user reporting, I'm not sure if you saw that user reporting window I popped up, converting that to Nova UI was just really didn't take that long. Yeah, it doesn't really take that long. And again, you have full access to the code. So this is their slider. So you have full access to the code for the prefabs, and so you can change values as you want. All right, let's see here if we can do. I don't know if on value change will work with a property. Let's see here. We're just gonna add a little Odin here. Update. Okay. Okay, we're gonna add a little Odin to it. Let's see, if that works right, we should then be able to update our value and watch our slider move in real time. Hopefully. Unless there's some other Nope. Am I getting my null reference from that? No. There must be something else going on with this fill bar. It is the one issue I've seen with Nova, and UGUI kind of has this too, that it updates in the screen or in the scene view in kind of weird ways. All right, I think. Let's see. Actually, I might be okay. I might be okay with just doing that, getting rid of that really basic tan gray. Should probably make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, let's make everything a little bit bigger. I love that slider. Oh, this is my other little pet peeve is the way they do the buttons. The transitions come in and it changes the default color. It gives you a lot of power, but it also feels a little overly complicated. So what I'm going to do, we're going to set this to black. And then I'm going to grab that. This one's going to be a little lighter. It's going to be a little lighter still. Okay. And then I'm actually going to cut. This is going to cause a little bit of a mess, but we'll fix it here. I'm going to paste those values, but unfortunately that just pasted all the other bits and pieces. So we're going to have to do that. Make sure we have the right references. There we go. Now we shouldn't be changing around anything. But I do want to do, I think that text is big enough, but I do want to make this bigger. That's not going to let me do that. Let's see here. Let's take this and we're going to fill the parent. There we go. Again, that's what I love about Nova is we just got these, I can just expand to parent. It works really nicely. I'm going to change the corner radius as well. I'm going to change it to like 4, which is what I've been doing on my windows and such things. And my fill bar now looks goofy. It's not really, well, let's do, how's that look? Just that's pretty dang fat, isn't it? Let's make that a little narrower. And let's also get this thing. Okay, that is back to 0. Okay. And then my fill bar, this also needs to expand to the parent so that we're the same size. We're going to go to a corner radius of 1. I think that's okay. We're going to make our knob. We are going to make our size of our knob, not value. We're going to make it a percentage, and we're going to go 120%, maybe 140%, 140% of our parent. And again, I just love that flexibility. This isn't supposed to be a Nova ad, but you know, that just for me, that just works. Okay. I want to look and see if I can just copy and paste this thing. I don't think this. Oh, I was dicking around with that. That doesn't do me any good. Okay. I'm just, rather than manually do that again, I'm just going to take this slider and duplicate like so, and then drop it back into there. So they're not gorgeous, but I think it's okay. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So let's do, We're fitting the size of our children. That's just really small. Okay, so let's make our buttons bigger. We're going to make these taller. We're going to make these like 40. That's really big. It feels a little, those buttons feel a little big. Let's change our spacing a little bit. Let's make our spacing 10. That feel better. Buttons are still really big. I mean, not really if I think about the screen as a whole. So, okay, maybe that's okay. And then we'll do our label. We're gonna, you also end up with really large font sizes on with Nova because it's all technically it's all screen space. Yeah, Tech Dave, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is going. There's a flash sale on Nova, which I think, if I remember the stuff from Unity, I think that means it'll be 70% off for the first 8 hours, which is a pretty significant. I'm gonna stretch these out here. It's a pretty significant discount. That's too big. How's that look? It's a little okay. It's looking a little out of proportion here. Let's size that up. And again, I mean, if anybody's heard, I go on and on about Nova. I just think it works. And actually, so what I'm going to do here is this draggable unit. I'm going to come down to this and I'm going to change them to percentage in the Y, or not in the Y, actually. I want to do it in the X direction. And then I think if I stretch this out, then they'll scale with me more or less. But these ones are also not. We'll change these over to percentage as well. And then I think we'll scale nicely. Yeah, then we scale pretty nicely. But we can also do, oh, you're not gonna like that. What we can do is the position can also be a percentage. Let's do that. We're gonna make the position a percentage of all of these. And then again, now we scale pretty nicely. I don't like the way it looks. I mean, it's too many buttons, and I wonder if we could change the buttons to go horizontally. Oh, Tech Dave, yeah, 70%, then 60%. That sounds about right. Yeah, it goes, I think there's 3 stages. Okay, last thing I want to do on these things, it's not great, but this is going to be good enough for, like I said, like an alpha release. All right, what happened to my text? Why did you just disappear? We are. All right, I broke something. Oh, what? Why are we auto sizing? I don't know. I have found the text to be a little it works. I haven't quite understood all the nuance of it. I also love what you can see on my screen right now. The pink lines, the snapping works really, really well. All right, why doesn't my background bar and fill? Oh, that's the knob. Okay, we're just gonna slide those over just a tiny bit, like that. Actually, what I should do is change this so that it's positioned in the middle, and then there we go. Now it just anchored to the middle there. Yeah, anything's better than the default Unity text. And this actually uses, this does use Text Mesh Pro. So it's the same, like if you've been using Text Mesh Pro, you can use your same assets. And I think it's limited in the shader that it can use, but you can use the same kind of stuff. What I find challenging about it, and it does work, I just always can't, I forget the right combination of things. It's a little more fidgety than I'd like. When you're auto sizing text with Nova, if you're letting the Text Mesh Pro do the auto sizing, you have to have you need to have the UI block itself set to shrink to the children. It definitely works, but it can be a wee bit tricky. Let's see. Can I suggest a multiplayer system that is reasonable and easier than others in the market? No. I mean, I've used Photon in the past, and it gets the job done. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, that's really my only experience. If I was to give you my unvarnished opinion about multiplayer, if you're looking for an easier system, then you shouldn't be doing multiplayer. I don't mean that in a condescending way. I don't really think anybody on their own should be doing multiplayer. I made the mistake, and I'm speaking from experience. I made the mistake myself. My first game was multiplayer, so maybe I should just shut up. But oh yeah, I like that. Okay. It doubled the development time of my game. And that's why I don't think people should do it, is because it takes too long. All right, well, let's see what this looks like. So I guess that's kind of a non-answer. Multiplayer is just freaking hard. It's just really hard. We use Photon in my day job a little bit, and we were working just to sync one very simple thing. And partially it was the way that some of the assets were put together was a little complicated, but like I literally just wanted to turn a game object on and make sure that the local and the remote entities saw that. And it could do that, and then have that object like be parented to another object. And it's just like, it was surprisingly challenging. Part of that was because I just didn't know what I was doing. I'd been too long since I'd been in. Too long since I'd used Photon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a part of me, a little sadistic part of me, that kind of wants to make a multiplayer game again. Why is that not sort of transparent? That's maybe a little too transparent. Kind of like that. Let's get those buttons transparent too. There's a sadistic part of me that would like to do it, but if I did do it, it would be I'd be trying to do a very simple game. Oh. I'm gonna knock the alpha back of these ones too. Let's see if that looks okay with just knocking back the alpha on the default color. You can also turn off the transitions, but a little color change is nice. It gives them a little bit of player feedback. Yeah, Nightcar, I totally fully agree. It is hard to wrap your head around what information you need to sync and what not to sync. And why is my it's my fading. No, I don't want that. Oh dear God, what did I do? Let's fix this. I was messing around with things in here and making things too complicated. It was very much an instance of trying to be clever, became not so clever. All right. My Nova group is going to, this is my own made up group to try to replicate the Canvas group from UGUI, and I haven't done it quite right yet. I don't really want everything transparent. Ugh. All right, good enough though. Good enough. It's not quite what I want it to do right now, but all right, we got our FSR slider. Of course, none of the names are coming across right now. I don't know why that one's being weird. Let's see. Maybe I've got the settings on that one wrong. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't need to go to 0 FPS. That one does go to 0 to 1. What do I think about Chat GPT writing for C#? It's been getting asked a bunch lately, and I think it is a fantastic tool. I think it's a fantastic tool that we all need to learn how to use. I don't know what all these I need to figure out these errors. I need to make those sliders bigger. They're just, at least with my clumsy hands, they're hard to grab. I think all the AI stuff is fantastic tools. I don't know what that warning is. I mean, I know what that warning's about, but I'm not sure why I'm getting that warning. I think it is a fantastic tool that we all need to learn how to use. And I think in my mind, it is exactly that. It is it's a tool. All right, well, that didn't work very well. I wonder why that's not working well. I think just like anything else, it's a tool. It's a tool that you need to learn how to use. And in terms of specifically it writing C# code, I think that I think it can be a great start. I think it can be a great starting tool. I think it can give you an outline for a lot of things. I think it all comes down to learning to give it good prompts. If you can give it good prompts and seed it with good information, then you might be able to get something out of it. I don't know. I know the Odin guys, the Odin Inspector guys, were doing some work with it when it first came out as public, and asked it to write a custom inspector using Odin Inspector for something complex with tabs, and I think tabs inside of tabs. And it was something, one of those things that nobody really wanted to do, and it nailed it. It got it perfect. From the developers, they said, yep, that is exactly how you would do it. So I definitely think there's some use cases where I can write some code for you. For whatever reason, it seems to know Odin Inspector well. And that could be a great tool. All right, settings menu. I'm happy with that for now. Yeah. Yep. What Tech Dave and Nextcard said exactly. Right now I think ChatGPT is a great brainstorming tool. Yeah, absolutely. You need to know C# and Unity to get the most out of it. It's a great brainstorming tool. I've got a video in the works, back to kind of a regular tutorial thing. Again, things I wanted to learn about. And I was using ChatGPT to kind of flesh out that knowledge. And I was asking it things. And these are pretty easy things to confirm. So I'm not too worried about getting wrong information or whatever. These are not opinionated things. And I was asking it about some aspects of C# and you're kind of going back and forth, and that's interesting. And it would say something, and I would ask more questions about it, and I was taking notes. And then when I got done, I'd asked all my questions. I asked the question, is there any other subjects in this larger topic that we haven't discussed? And it said, absolutely. Here you go. Here's 4 more concepts. And I was like, oh. And actually 1 or 2 of those became or were the most useful things that I personally got out of doing all that research. And so I think that's amazing, right? And again, those are easy to confirm things. I can look up the documentation. I can make sure that it's doing the right thing. I'm going to write my own code, make sure that, these things behave the way I think they do. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic brainstorming tool. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't use any of the code for production, so to speak, but if you need to brainstorm how a system works, awesome. But again, as Nextcar said, you need to know C# because you're going to get this information. It's like going on to Stack Exchange, like you can see all this code that somebody else has written, and unless you have some concept of what it's doing and can edit it or know where it might go wrong for your use case, like I think it's going to be a problem. Okay, cool. We're going to check this off. Options menu is done. Take that off my list. Hey, Adam. Thanks for joining. Very much thought of you as I was coming up with a title for today's stream. Getting right where my day job's getting ready to go to a big convention. I think, well, as you know, but for other folks, my day job's getting ready to go to a big convention next week. So we're getting that software out. It's done. Nobody wants to touch it. So we got a day and a half off. It's pretty nice. So a little extra stream today. Okay. I like this. Let's, I I'm gonna have to go back and figure out how to fix this Nova group better. But that's working. Oh, Adam, you should see this. I don't know if you just joined. I should show this since you were on yesterday's stream. The start screen. So here's the, I spent some time on it last night and this morning, adjusting some colors, getting the shuttles to move, the turrets move, adding some more tiles. I think it's not perfect, but I like it. Let's see. Editor window that will show the taskbar window thumbnail previews. I can dock YouTube or any other window in the Unity editor. Huh. Yeah. I think that's cool, right? Like ChatGPT in combination with Google and such things. Yeah, Adam, isn't that better? Like for some reason, I don't know what was going on. I noticed it, but the camera was coming in with a ton of distortion. It was really bulging and rounding things. I don't know if it came in with some default settings that were a little funky. So I turned it to a physical camera and played with the focal length and like this is like just way, but this is what I was trying to get yesterday and I just couldn't get the camera to do it. But I also added the day-night cycle to it. I figured why not? I think I had to add one line of code to the day-night cycle to make it work with the menu. So I was pretty okay with that. Yeah, I think you're maybe right. The play and quit, they do, when you highlight over them, they do their flashy thing. I'd like to add some animations so that they kind of get bigger or smaller in a click. But it's going to get another round of polish for sure. Well, I say that now, and this, who knows, maybe this is the one that gets shipped. But I figure it's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough to for a quote unquote alpha build and get it up on itch. The next card, does Nova work with 3D models? Unity's UI, it's possible but not easy. If you tell me what you mean more by working with 3D models, it's Nova by default is fully world space. So if you want to put it, attach it to 3D models in your scene, piece of cake, no problem at all. Super easy, super easy to attach it. And I don't know what kind of overhead you have if you have all these different components. Like I'm thinking about your game. Like if you had like UI attached to each car or something. I mean, you don't have that many cars. That shouldn't be that big of a problem. Super easy to attach it to 3D models and get it to work in world space. It does actually have a 3D mode. 3D buttons, yeah, it does have a mode for that. Let's see here. I haven't played with it much. I can't speak to how well it works. So let's come to a little playground scene here. It does have 3D buttons. So it's got this UI block 3D. And so it does end up with this 3D space. I can't tell you. I haven't played with it. I don't even know if you can swap in your own mesh. Yeah, I haven't played with it. I mean, it looks like it's just a cube. I see what you're saying. Yeah. That could be cool. I mean, that would work because it's all world space. So you could, because it's all world space, you could simply take 3D models and attach it to those. Yeah, you could. I see what you're saying. That's a cool suggestion. I don't want to go there. I didn't need to save that. It's all world space, so it would be very easy to use actual 3D models. That'd be cool. All right. What I want to do next, let's put that to-do list back up on there. So got the options menu is off. We're done. It's good enough for now. We'll definitely come back and add some things like volume, like music volume, sound effect volume. But what I really wanted to accomplish there is that the player can quit. They can close the application, which is always a surprising thing that I forget, and all my students always forgot. You'd make a build and then you forget to put a quit button in there, and then you have to force quit. I wanted them to be able to quit. I wanted them to be able to go back to the start menu. And that was kind of it. Basic functionality for the game. If the volume is too loud, they can turn their speakers down, at least at this point. So Jeremy, I'll answer your question here in just a bit. But so what I want to do next is look at the buildings. I have got, let's see, let me pull it up here. Just before the stream, I pulled up, again, some kind of concept art that I liked. There was another one, I must have lost it. Oh, it was a different format. I kind of like some of those buildings, and I want to build a barracks. So this is the barracks that's going to go into the game scene. This is going to be the building that's going to spawn the little infantry units. And it's more or less functioning. Let me see if I can turn this on here. Let's add it in here. If only it was in alphabetical order, but it's Odin, so I can search. There you go. Okay. So if I grab my barracks, that's my barracks right now. My building of mitosis, which I think is, vaguely fitting. And then I can create infantry and it spawns them around like that. And then I have these infantry. So this is the building I want to replace, get something that looks decent. And I think like any other stream, we'll get started, probably won't get it finished. Let's see here, Jeremy. I think you're asking about Nova. Is the setup of components like canvas, then panels under that, etc., about the same as the base UI? It is similar. So Jeremy, let me show you real quick here how I set it up. There is no canvas. Nova does not have a canvas component. So how I set it up here in my scene is I generally have a blank empty object that's going to hold all my UI stuff. And then attached to that is an input manager. So this plays the role of the event system. So you don't need the event system. You need an input manager. And they do a really nice job of now shipping one that pretty much works out of the box. And then what I do here, you'll see this object here, and I apologize, my UI is a little, let's turn this stuff off. My UI is a little small. There's Nova Canvas. I call it the Nova Canvas because I've used UGUI for so long. And then what you attach to it is this screen space here, screen space component, which basically continuously makes sure that object fills the entire screen, which is why you set up you give it a camera, and you can give it how big you want it to be, change the size of it, whatever. I've added this pink outline. I came up with my own component to draw the gizmo around it so I could see it all the time. Because once I click off of it, I don't get the outline for it anymore. And then what I do, this camera here, as you can see, it's called the overlay camera. So I create an overlay camera. I'm using URP. And I just create an overlay camera. And that's it. So there's a little bit of setup compared to Unity. It doesn't do it all automatically for you, but and then from there on, it's just a matter of adding the UI components, and it does just like UGUI does. It renders it in the hierarchical order. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It will, if you get into Nova, I definitely recommend getting the free trial first. Play around with that. It'll take you an hour or two to kind of adapt and adjust and figure out what's going on. So it's a different system. That's a really important part to remember. It's a different system, so different terminology and different ways of doing things. I like it way better. Which is why I continue to put little ad spots for them in my videos, because I actually really believe in their product. Adam, I seem extra motivated. Yeah. Well, my boss gave me a day and a half off, which is pretty nice. So I've been working on this project instead of doing my day job. I've been working on this I've got like tripled my usual weekly time this week. This project, so I'm pretty stoked. Let's see. Next card. You didn't notice that the FSR affects the Nova UI. Yeah, I don't. I've noticed that too, and I don't love that. That the FSR settings affect the Nova UI. I wonder if that's something that the developers can fix, or I don't know how the FSR works. If it's just a render pipeline kind of thing. I've wondered if there's some setting somewhere. If you can turn FSR so it only works on certain layers. I don't know. But yeah, that it is an issue. It is an issue. It is an issue. Yeah, Jeremy, go check it out. Go check out Nova. It's again, it's a different tool, a different system, and the free trial has every feature. All the features are in the editor. They're all there for you to try out and play with. Like what I did the first time was I put it in there and made sure I could do everything that I wanted to with Nova. And they've added a lot of features since I first got it. The only thing it doesn't use the burst compiler. So there's some places the developers tell me realistically, nobody will ever notice that the difference. Especially with a free trial kind of scenario where you're just trying things out, and you can't make builds on it. But other than that, it's fully featured. So, okay, so let's turn these things back on. I'm gonna turn my concept art back on, and we're gonna go into Blender. Let's see how much work we can get done here in hour and a half. All right, we're gonna get rid of all that stuff, and then just like I always do, open up another copy, and I'm gonna grab open up another model, and I'm gonna grab my tile. And I'm just turned off the select. All right, let's grab the tile, put the tile in here. All right, let me go I want to find this other one. I think it was just a weird format. Let's find this other building that I quite liked. I think it was in here. It might have just been that one. I was thinking there was another. I think I couldn't save this one. It came in a weird format. So we'll just snip it like that. And I'll get this on screen here in just a minute. kind of like that. I like the simplicity. There was another one that I liked, but I think that's close enough. That's close enough. Adam, are we going to start with NA genitalia? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to not make a genital inspired model this time around. I mean, last stream was not the first time. Yeah, I like that bunker. I like that bunker, and I like some of the I kind of just like straight up like that one, and I like some of the details in the other models. So let's think about it. How do I want to make that? We're going to start with I think I can start that with a cube. Okay. I'm kind of thinking I might. I don't know. I guess we can play around this. I was kind of thinking maybe having like a couple little barracks on like maybe 2 or 3, and then have like a command building or something. We'll see. Now don't start telling me about real barracks here. I'm making a video game. It's not going to be realistic. But yeah, I mean, the other thing I'm always concerned about, and I was concerned about this the last stream, right, is the level of detail, keeping the level of detail appropriate for the rest of the art. Perfect, I'm done. All right, I'm going to slice this guy in half as well. While I remember. Okay. All right, let's think about what I want to do next. I mean, maybe, did I really want to do that? Maybe I didn't want to do that. It gets complex when that's the door. Let's do it like, I'm going to slice it like this. There we go. Something like that. Inset that door. Give it a little bit of a scale it, but not in the Y. There we go. Might be a bit fat. Let's do that a little bit different. I'm going to put in ring cuts like, oh, nope. Like that. Give it a little bit more detail. Yeah. Looks like a Catan house. It's all good. Definitely generating a little more geometry than we need, but all right, let's think about that doorway. I could just add the doorway on. That might be an easier way to do it. Kind of was tempted to, let's open up. No, I don't want to open up in this one. I want to open up in this one. I was kind of tempted to grab all these fans. Oh, I made them permanent. Actually, that should all move with, nope, not going to move. Come on, you got to have some parenting structure in there. Oh, wait, I didn't get my fan blades. Oh, balls. All right, we'll try that again. We're going to grab these and these. Right, that needs to be parented to that thing. This thing is going to get parented to this thing. And this little empty, I don't know if I need anymore, actually. Do I need that empty? Oh, yep, I do. All right. And you need ventilation on a barracks. So we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna add a. All right, this thing should just, I just need to apply this. Get rid of this empty. Sure, ventilated barracks. It's all good. Let's see. Your mouse is moving slowly when you use cycles. Is that normal? A laptop with a 350 using cycles, it could depend on your preview. So up here at your top right, you've got these 4 rendering or viewport shading options. If you were all the way cranked up here, it's possible that you could be chugging a 30, especially a mobile 3050. A mobile 3050 is not going to have a lot of juice. Blender's pretty lightweight, but that would be my guess, is that would be about the only way to do it. I'm not using cycles. Am I? No, I'm in an EV right now. If I switch over to cycles and go to full preview, my computer's working pretty hard. But I would say if you are using a 3050 on a laptop and just doing basic modeling like I am with this kind of preview, your mouse should not be moving slowly. That is not normal. I've had, I taught a class 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now. And the kids just used MacBooks. They're totally fine. All right, how about that door? I kind of like the door. I kind of like the door on the top image. I like the, so let's see if we can make that. I'm gonna do that. How do I want to do that? That's gonna be a, it's gonna be it. We're gonna start with a cube. Okay, we're gonna do something like that. I'm just trying to get it, roughly sized the right way. How does that look size-wise? That's pretty close. And then we're going to edit mode here, and I'm going to add in some ring cuts. One up at the top. Actually, let's do it. We'll do it this way. Add the ring cut in like that. We'll slide them both up like that. That way we're nice and uniform. I want to grab that one and that face. Scale that down. Try to get those proportions kind of right. Okay. Let's get ourselves a door frame. It's working for me, working for me. I mean, it's not inspired. I'm not going to win any awards for art. But if anybody thought I was going to do that, then, you know, a little delusional. I feel like I'm too tall. Let's see, I just want to grab a bunch of these. Oops. Make a little squattier. All right. Let's see. What else do we want to put on here? It's always, the devil's always in the details. Yeah. Yep, that's a door. Yep. Devil's always in the details. Turn my little loaf of bread into something vaguely interesting. Well, the Marines are going to be like, the Marines are, if you look at them, like they're way oversized. I haven't even like, if I make them scaled, they're going to be like tiny little things. So I gave up on that one a while ago. I did give up on that one. I'm going to make these. That's not really what I was expecting. Let's parent that. I forgot about all that extra garbage there. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. Get those all on the same level like that. I can really just get rid of those. There's no need to have those faces in there. Get rid of that extra geometry too. All right, that's a fairly uninspired loaf of bread. Get everything parented nicely. A gun range, or something. I was like, ooh, maybe. I'm a little worried that it's too much detail. Because I think I'm going to shrink this thing down. Maybe it's not going to be this big. I'm kind of thinking. So my thought is I might do something like this. Kind of thinking something like this. Let's get rid of this garbage. Something, I was kind of thinking something like that. Oops, I mean, right now it doesn't look very, it needs a lot more detail. I don't love the way it looks right now. And then maybe some other sort of command building here, like kind of like something maybe more like the top or well, so if we go from the top to the bottom, the first image or the third image. That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe offset these so they're not all in a row. Make it a little bigger for me to work on. All right, let's see what we can do here. Get some detail in here. Oops. Because again, it's always about the details. A little bit better. I want to go get. I'm gonna go get some vents. Lay some vents up there, maybe. Okay. Why? It's weird. Yes, no, maybe. Maybe we do them. Oh, I don't have a bottom of them. Maybe. What about horizontally? I like that. It's hard to see sometimes without enough shading. I feel like it needs more. I think that's interesting. I'm going to leave that for now. I might come back to that. So I'm looking again at that concept image there down at the bottom. I kind of like those feet that are coming out. So let's, because it's missing some. It's too vertical or something. So let's try. Oh, geez, that nope, no, nope, nope, nope. Just trying to flatten that curve out a little bit. Okay, got that. thought then is I should be able to grab this edge. Yeah. Do something like that. Let's do it symmetrically here. And then we will scale in the Y. That helps a lot. Oh, I think that helps a lot. Might be a bit pointy, huh? What is that little edge in there for? What is that thing? Huh. Some, I mean, it was from cleaning things up earlier, but what I want to do. Oops. There. Make it not quite so pointy. Bring our door down again. Okay, I mean, it's not my favorite so far. Let's see, kind of like the fins on the first. Let's see, what did the farm look like? I think you're talking about the farm. Let's go look at the farm. I think I got rid of them. I feel like I need some pipes. I don't know why you need pipes, but I'm liking pipes at the moment. I'm gonna grab some pipes. Nope, those are. Look at me! Look at me! I got smart. I made multiple copies of things in different stages of development. I was pretty proud of myself. All right, we're gonna copy these pipes. I mean, infantry need a poo. They need a drink. Oh, geez. And you said, you know, right? We don't want to get too much detail. They're not too fancy. They're really simple. So they just have giant giant poo tubes. Let's stick this thing on the ground and see what it looks like. It's parenting everything so we can kind of make it work. Shrink it back down. I mean, maybe one of these with I do want to put in as always. I don't know why it I don't know if it's a new feature. I just never noticed it before. Blender likes to copy the parents too. Is that kind of... Should actually get it on the ground level. That'd be good. Definitely looks like a loaf of bread. I'm gonna say that. not really what I want to do. That proportion that looks better to me. I feel like it's not. What's that landing there? This landing. So the right now the barracks is set just like any other building that produces things. It's taking in resources. The barracks takes in people, takes in workers. Workers are. I haven't fully fleshed out that mechanic right now. Right now it's just kind of a resource. Yeah. Shortening that really helped a lot. I feel like I could even make it shorter still. I haven't fully fleshed out the mechanic of the like the colonists, so to speak. Whoa, what is that? I have some hidden geometry going on. I do. We should. Oh, it's that. Wait, what the balls? Oh, numbnuts. But yeah, anyways, you gotta turn your workers into Marines, and the way it works right now, it's in various states of being broken. Like colonists get dropped off each morning, and you got to feed them and house them and all kinds of stuff. Or like that's kind of the idea. Yeah, so that's going to be that's the shuttle delivery. I feel like I need something attached to it. I feel like that almost works. I think I might these fins. Let's go fix these fins. To reduce my vert count by almost none. I'd gotten rid of that face there. So let's try. We're going to let's go to normal. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to rotate Z 180, and we're going to slide on the Y. I think that works. We definitely need some more details. They're made into Soylent Green. Exactly. We need some more details in here for sure. But I'm kind of feeling like it needs like some other structure over here. Yeah. Okay. Do I do vents on both sides? Maybe I do. Maybe. I got an idea. I don't know if it's going to work. Go back to global coordinates. Okay, make that one long. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of this pipe. Why am I want to be in face selection. Some random edges there. That's funny. Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to have a pipe come up here. I'm going to grab that. Okay, does that... Actually, let's back that off a little bit so we're not into the building. I don't know why there's pipes coming into the building, but it's a nice detail, maybe. All right, we're going to come to like there. And then I'm going to do this trick I figured out a while ago. Cursor to that, and then we're going to select all this, and then we're going to be rotating around the cursor. So, a little bit better view here. We're going to extrude and rotate. Extrude and rotate. I still am just blown away that I didn't figure this out a very long time ago. Into the fan. Does it look ridiculous? Maybe. I don't want you over there. There we go. Does it look a little absurd? It looks a little absurd. I mean, I've seen stupider things. Hey there. Welcome. Thanks for joining from Brazil. A dining facility? Sure, why not? Why not? I'm kind of thinking our little dining facility comes off here. So maybe I'll apply that mirror modifier. So we have unique geometry again. Look funny if they're not symmetric. Probably. I'm not loving this building. This is not like, I don't know. It's not, it's not blowing me away. Trying to think about how I want to do this here. I don't really want to put a ring down it like that. I could go from here to there, to there, to there, to there. And then oh, I see. Okay. I do not want that one there. Scale in the X. What? What do we do? Why is, do I have some extra geometry selected? Yes, I do. Okay. I might do the same thing over here again. What else do I have selected? Let's just try that again. All right. I'm just trying to get some clean geometry to kind of extrude here, pull out, do something a little bit. I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to save all this, or I'm going to duplicate it. Slide that over. Turn my tile back on. The poop tubes are opposite of the dining hall. Well, naturally. Might be cool if these tubes kind of went in there, but let's see if we can make this into something that doesn't suck. That's always the challenge. Always the challenge. Can you make something that doesn't totally suck? I'm gonna try to mimic a little bit of that structure I've got over there. I don't know how well that's going to work. Let's find out. I don't want to be going around the 3D cursor. I want to go about median point. Kind of looks like an RV pop out. I mean, you know. Adam, it's just funny given some of our other conversations when I first read that first part when you told your privates. I mean, whatever you do, you know, whatever you tell your privates is, you know, you don't have to share with everybody. I would have loved to say that to my students. Could he just be less bad? I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. What if I pull... I'm just playing. I'm just playing at this point, trying to figure out something. Let's see. What if I have a smaller access tunnel? Ah, yeah. I think that I like that. And I think that is effectively what I'm doing now. I like that. That's a good way to think about it. So let's do that. Let's go with that idea. So we're going to grab like that, and we're going to extrude and scale in the X. We're going to grab all this. Grab this. Gotta be careful how close I go to that edge. Let's do, I think I got it a little too, shrink that down. I think I got a little too bulbous here. And then let's do, we got some broken geometry down there. It's probably okay. I've got something weird. Let's, it looks like I'm gonna need to fix that a little bit. Of course, you're in here and I can't really see anything. What the hell's going on there? Oh, I know what I did. Maybe I know what I did. There we go. Okay. All right, we'll go back and do this properly now. Oh, I just, no, wow, I did it again. Oh, I see. I just had, oh, frustrating. I did not catch that. Okay. While we're down here, we'll get rid of our floor. Okay. And what I want to do is grab that face, and we're going to scale that in. Okay. Like it. I like it. I'd like to make this a little closer to square. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. It's just a thing. It's a goiter. It's a goiter on the barracks. Yeah, that works. Let's do this. We're going to do straighten those lines up. I'm going to pull. Let's see, how do I want to do that? I want to grab these lines here. And pull those in like that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But I kind of like it. I put some vents on it. I put a big fan on it. Kind of like that these lines, I accidentally didn't make those lines straight. Might do the same thing here, actually. Let's do. Actually, let's do. Grab all those. A bit like that. I don't know what I'm making. I really don't. Oh, goodness. Goodness. All right. I don't want to grab all those things. That'll cause some bad geometry in there, but I'm not so worried about that. But of course, I'm going to fix it. Well, am I going to fix that? Do I really care about that? No, but I do have an extra face there I can get rid of. Oh, next card. That's awesome. I just put a big fan on it. We just drop the bodies in, get a little grinder. That's pretty awesome. All right, what do I do with this thing here? I still need generally more details. I'm wondering if those pipes should have followed. I don't know if I could have done that, followed that roof line. Let's try. You know, when in doubt, you extrude and scale. When in doubt, extrude and scale. And when really in doubt, you grab some more antennas and you duplicate them and you duplicate them. Stick some things on there like that. And then you go back to some other artwork. And you grab some. Oh, that one. No, did I? Oh. I can probably replicate that on my own. When in doubt, you just put some decorations on it. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember that mission from GTA 2. I don't know if I. Oh, actually, I didn't play GTA 2. I think GTA 3 was my first. Maybe my only, actually. Next, are you making a modular tutorial system for? Yeah, I did something like that for much simpler than I'm sure what you're doing. I did something like that for my day job because we have a. I know you were asking about what we're doing. We're actually it's a company that makes software right now. It's a company that makes software for construction companies that generally aimed at cranes, and so we were making a crane simulator and for this convention that we're going to, and uh, we just kind of needed to step people through the process of of how to use the crane and how to do everything. And so, you know, it wasn't very sophisticated. You turn off all the controls and then turn them on one at a time, give them some audio and instructions, and then wait for them to do something. But I tell you that I didn't hard code it. I kind of made it a system because I had no idea how things were going to change, and it was surprisingly complicated, even for a fairly simple tutorial system. Well, that would add some movement. Yeah, the grinder, little meat grinder. I mean, it kind of looks vaguely like looks like a handle or something. I don't know what it looks like. All right, it needs more details. More details. It's not the worst looking building I've made since I opened Blender 10 years ago. I mean, the little outpost thing, it's kind of working for me. We need to put some details on it. Not exactly sure what or how. Should we stick this in the game and see what happens? Let's save this first. I'm gonna be stoked if I can get this done. I bet you I can get this done next day or two. Not gonna get it done on stream today, but I'm gonna be pretty stoked to get this done because this is like the last big building that I feel like I need before I can really like like I was saying earlier, like get that kind of that alpha build out there. All right, let's see what this looks like. There's no color on it yet. That's okay. Man, I'm always whenever I put it in here and you get that little bit of ambient inclusion, it's so much better. That's so much. Look, just brings it to life so much more. Okay, let's take a look at what that. Oops, I brought in the tile too. Shit. Let's fix that. Selected objects only. Every time, every single time. Let's see what that looks like if we put it next to some other things. Alpha build soup for sure. Oh, right. The GPU instancer is on, and so it's grabbing that old one. I'm going to leave that old building in there for now because I think it's kind of fun to make. I made a little GIF the other day of the old building and the new building, which I think is kind of a fun thing to do. What am I looking? No. Yeah. GPU instancer. Hey, Legion. Welcome back to the bonus stream. We're replacing the mitosis. Oh, it doesn't. I mean, it's a little big, but it's kind of a chunky boy compared to some of these other things. There's my farm. There's the mine. Let's not deal with it. I love my placeholder. Like the play. It's funny. Makes me laugh. I mean, scale-wise, it might be a little big. Oh, and you wanted to see the Marines next to it. Huh? You want to see the Marines next to it? Here's the Marines next to it. It's not, I mean, actually, you know what? That's not horrible. That's vaguely, I feel like they could actually fit through that door. I feel like the scale, it's a little too big. It needs to get scaled down 10%. You like it? Yeah, we're fixing up the barracks because you can see here the they're in red, or here, well, I think red's easier to see. That's my old placeholder art that had been there for a while. Well, and for the alpha, like the barracks will let you spawn more infantry, more Marines, whatever you want to call them, dudes with guns. And so that'll be a pretty crucial piece to like surviving, basically, and being able to kind of scale up your project. I mean, I think it's a little big. I look at the mine. The mine's little, it kind of. I think it's just a little bit big. All right, well, I'm going to scale that to 90%. Oops. Let's parent all this stuff so it all scales together. Oops. Oh, pipes aren't on there. Still don't know what we're venting into the to our Marines, but all right, 90%. Let's see if that feels a little bit better. I don't think it's not a lot too big. It's just a little too big. Are you going to see me UV it? Maybe. We could probably do that here. Me UVing, it's pretty unexciting if you've seen the way I've done the other ones. I'm just using a grid color palette, so it's pretty. Whoops. Man, that's not quite the right orientation. I don't know when Unity and Blender sometimes like to change their orientation. Other times they do. I don't know. Why did I lose all my... Oh, numbnuts. Okay, now I know why I did it. When you only import one object, it does the weird rotation thing. If you import multiple objects, I think Unity creates a like an empty parent so that the rotation is correct. I'm sure that's what happened. There we go. Okay. All right, 90% barracks. Let's see if that feels a little bit better. The airdrop is a little, yeah. Let's see. HQ, so we get some, and then some barracks. I think that feels better to me. 90%. That I might still drop it a tiny bit, but I feel like that's more in line with these other sizes. I think a work like I want to add some more details. I definitely want to add some more details. Maybe we'll put a door on the other side too. I feel like the door's a little large, but our Marines could, you know, if they go sideways, they could fit in there. I want to take a closer look at it in here. Got all the various post-processing shit going on. I feel like we're up a little bit. Yeah, okay, we're lifted up a little bit. That's okay. I thought we were a little lifted. All right. Let's see. I probably got about 20 minutes left. We can definitely get the color on that quickly, especially the way I do it. All right, we need some more detail. I want to look at, let's go back to my other window here. I did some cuts in there like that I kind of liked. I don't know how well you guys can see that trough gave that some color. I'm going to do some of that. All right. Oh, geez. That's not what I wanted to do. All right, let's get nice straight on. And we're going to do some knifing. Let's see. I might do... Okay. Something like that. All right. And we're going to just straighten these things out. Oops. Got an extra vertice there. Just making sure all these things are lined up. I wish maybe there's a tool in Blender. I haven't found, or a way to make the knife tool, make sure you're going like along global axes, but I have not found it yet. All right, so we're going to grab this, and then we're going to bevel edges. Like so. And then that really didn't do it evenly, which is interesting. So we're going to scale up in the... No. All right, we're going to have to do it manually. All right. Boop. Individual origins. Okay. And the other thing, once I get this model done, a lot of the functionality of this model is, or the code is working. I need to... I don't know what that is, but I added it. A lot of the code is functional. For this building, with the exception, it's not using any resources to produce. It feels like there's something funny there. It's not using any resources to produce Marines. You can just crank them out. I just want to create a little extra. I don't know what I want to do. Like, this is too big of a space. Put more pipes in it. Maybe that's okay. All right. Do I... Let's see if I can be a little lazy here. I don't... Try to add a little detail here. I want... Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Come on. Not sure how it's developing any of that, but okay. Okay, that's a way we can do it. We'll do it like this and then scale and okay, and then I can extrude. Something like that. That looks horrible. Ooh, Schwapo, add a satellite dish on top of the small building and let it rotate. Ooh, I like that. I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to do that. Mother. This is not going well. All right. I didn't like how that was going. Let's try a different approach. It's hard. I find it really hard in Blender to work on those angles. Maybe I just haven't figured out the right buttons to push. All I really wanted to do is something like that. Shuffle, I love that idea of a satellite dish. I wanted to do that on similar buildings. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that today, but I definitely, yeah, that should happen. Hey, Adam, I think I missed you leaving, but anyways, thanks again for joining. See you next time. All right, should we give this... I'm not liking these details that I've added, if I'm honest. All right, let's pop this in Unity and see how that goes again. I mean... Okay, that one worked pretty okay. The door just still feels enormous to me. It's also my only building with a door, which seems a little odd. No. I love the idea of because I do want to add motion to each building. It's definitely something that needs to happen. Yeah. Well, and like I've been reusing a bunch of the little details from building to building. So building one of those, I could use it on other things. Something about that door I don't like. Might just be too plain. All right, well I'm running out of steam a little bit. I need to go get a snack here, but before I do that, let's see if we can add some color to this. That's the wrong color palette. That is still the wrong color palette. It's almost like I opened the same color palette twice. There we go. Okay. Oh, they're not all one object. It's going to take a little bit longer. All right, we're gonna, let's see, what color, let's gonna make this, we're gonna make the door that color, but the panels here are gonna be, we're gonna go with that color. All right, door's done. All right, we're gonna shrink all this down, and this is gonna be, go like that. And then I'm going to grab, like I've been doing, I'm going to grab all these rows in here. Should have done this before I applied the mirror modifier. That would have been smart. Those are going to be blue. All right. This. We're going to make red. Let's see, our pipes should be, yep, our pipes are already unwrapped. Those guys should be unwrapped. Maybe we will, well, that might be okay. These things should be unwrapped. Okay, that should all be unwrapped. We definitely need to come back in here to add some more detail. 100%. Let's see, maybe we'll grab that, make that blue. And these things, I like to make these red. There we go. Okay. And I've got this thing, this little lump over here. Let's change its color. We'll make it blue. Give it a little bit of subtle shading. I feel like these things should also be different colors. So maybe we'll switch that over to the blue, or the bluish. Did I get that one? No. Okay. Is that everything? I went back and forth a bunch of how to color things several months ago when we were adding color. I am pretty glad I did it this way. This is so, now that it's all worked out, this method of unwrapping and adding the color, so much easier. And I think for this game, the results are perfectly adequate. Okay. Let's take a look at how that is going to work. Let's expand all these things out. just the, grab all those and we're going to add a color palette to it. Color palette material, that is. Yeah, it needs some more details, but the red stripe kind of works. I wonder if I could pull that out, that whole thing out. That might. That's just strange. That might just be strange. Yeah, that's just strange. It might have. I might go back to that, but I think that's just strange for now. Okay, it's got color. It needs another. There still is just something wrong with that door. Not sure what it is. It's just like too big or. I'm gonna stick one at the other end and see how I feel about that. Oh, I didn't unwrap the other side. That's funny. Should have unwrapped. Wait, that should be unwrapped. Wait. Oh, it just doesn't have the material applied to it. Okay. I was gonna say that's. All right, that might be about as far as I'm going to get today a little bit. Let's look at it. Let's put it in the game and see how it looks. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. I might put those vents on the other side too. It's not bad. There's full scale. That's not bad. I feel like the colored spots, the colored lines are maybe. Oh, oops, got the wrong face there. That's funny. The Nerd Sherpa, yeah, it does. When you export it, it automatically updates. There might be a few cases of it, but yeah, it updates the mesh data. I don't know exactly how all of it works, but yeah, it updates super quickly. You can even do it in play mode, and it works. Yeah, I think that's not bad, right? Like that's not bad. I think playing around with some more details on that other side, maybe. Again, I always got to be careful with adding too many details, and we're a little offset too. Let's fix we're raised up here. Let's fix that so it sits on the ground properly. I always got to be careful with adding too many details. I'm always cautious of that with this style of art. Oh, this thing's too low. Definitely got to match the details right. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it looks pretty okay. Again, if I put it next to some other buildings, I mean, I definitely like my farm is kind of lacking details. It's one of the first things I did. I'm reusing, right? I'm reusing my fan. I'm reusing the antennas, and I think get some blinky lights on the antennas like I've been doing. I need to do that and add that to more of the buildings. But that's not bad. There's almost a part of me that feels like the vents on that one side are too much. Sweet. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits there for now. It is Friday afternoon. My wife is starting spring break this afternoon, which is very exciting. And I'm kind of tired. I've been chugging on this thing since about 7:30 this morning. So I'm kind of tired. I'm going to be gone the next couple weeks. I won't be streaming for the next couple Thursdays, but I'll be back in probably the last Thursday of March. Maybe. Might have visitors. Anyways, I'm going to be gone for the next couple weeks. I'm hoping to keep making some work good words. I'm hoping to keep making progress while I'm away and traveling, but probably won't make too much. I'm pretty stoked. I feel like this is coming along. It's coming along nicely. I'm excited about this. Anyways, thank you all for joining. Much appreciated. Hope to see you guys next time. With that, I'm gonna call it quits.